All right. You are live. You are live. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Huddle. It's me, Coach Muddle, Nevada Nick. We're going to recap the crazy day that was football yesterday and, talk a little bit about tonight's game. And we'll go with there. I really would like to start, honestly, with the Giant game, if that's okay with you.
Yeah, you can say your piece since you obviously you had the reason to be more upset than me. So
I mean, really, I'm just trying to, I want to know your take because I don't know why all these Eagle fans like you did something. Like you did something. It was 3-3
I don't think
halfway through the third quarter.
Realistic Eagles fans who know what they're. Well, look, we're in the Christmas holiday, so people are excited. And one thing you got to understand too, this was a team that was 2-5, Coach. We now sit 8-7, so you're 6-2 in your last 8. I think they obviously know. Look, we beat the Giants, and obviously, I think they know as well. Our ceiling, or we're at best maybe we win a playoff game. I don't think we're going to get anything other than that, obviously. But look, as an Eagles fan, the future's bright. Last year you had a lot of turmoil. Doug gets fired, only 3 years removed from a Super Bowl. Carson Wentz gets traded to the guy who you thought was your future of your team. And here we sit, a year later, and look, that's what happened with Chip. Chip basically traded away our whole team. LaShawn McCoy, Deshaun Jackson, and it was a mess. They hired Doug. They had 1 year, and then, we won the Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying they're going to win the Super Bowl next year, but, look, we got 3 first-round picks to add to a team that's 8-7, and I think, obviously, in my opinion, I would go all defensive and try to maybe sign a wide receiver or a playmaker to add to Hurts. I think you got to give Hurts another year, unless.
Well, he's a rookie contract, so I mean,
yeah, unless one of those quarterbacks you can get for a steal. I'm not giving up 2 first-round picks. Maybe for Watson, but even Rodgers, like for what? For 2 or 3 years, we got a good young team. The only person who's really old on our team is Kelsey. And, he's on a year-to-year basis. Brandon Brooks, they'll probably move on from and try to draft an interior lineman. And then obviously Brandon Graham's getting older too. So other than that, though, we're fairly young. Yeah, but I still think he has a couple years left. I mean, they can't get rid of him after this year, Coach, because it'll be too much of a cap hit. So they still got 2 more years of Fletch. But they got Hargraves, though. They already have him kind of to replace Fletch. So, and they got Milton Williams, who they have big expectations for. So it's kind of wait and see. Like I said, I'm optimistic. I do think they might take 2 of those first-round picks and put them together, or maybe put a first and a second together to move up. If there's somebody they identify as a Mekhi Parsons type of player that can come in and change this defense. And that would make sense because look at what he's done. And look, obviously Diggs too, and you bring in a comparable, a good defensive coordinator, and look, they turn it around.
Look, Billy, don't even start. It was 3-3 halfway through the third quarter. Until the Giants quit. Until the Giants quit. Look, it was if you were a good team, you should have put it over before freaking halftime. Come on now.
What was the score at the end of the game?
3-3.
What was the score at the end of the game?
Because the Giants quit at that point. You had to wait for them to quit on you. And you had to use trickeration. You couldn't use. You had to throw the offensive lineman. You had to throw the offensive lineman to score a touchdown.
Loss yesterday.
What?
How many games did you at half go into your team and say, "All right, game's over. It was a good half. We're done"?
Well, apparently the Giants did that.
Well, that's not how it works, Coach. Maybe you aren't qualified to be a
coach.
Well,
you know what? Apparently at the high school that I am at, apparently that's the way they are. it's the first half they play really well and they forget that there's a second half. But
Well, and let's not forget, Coach. Let's not forget the Eagles just played on Tuesday too. So you're on a short week. I think they came out a little sluggish. Defensively, they were fine. It was the offense, and I'll put that on Sirianni a little bit. Yeah, it does. I agree, Billy, and I'll put that on Sirianni a little bit. Look, when you go, if the Eagles make the playoffs and you're playing a really good team, and you're going to need to, like if you played the Chiefs, I know they're in the other conference, but give me an example. You're going to have to score points. You might throw early or something to try to throw them off. But we're playing the Giants. We should have just run the ball right from the start. That's our identity. We've won these last stretch of games because we're getting 150 yards a game rushing. Plus, we had 7 straight games of 150 yards or more until yesterday because Sirianni was throwing the ball earlier.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, there's no truth to that rumor, Anthony. I don't know where you heard that from. You pulled it out your ass or whatever. Hey, look, Cam. I want you to know. Here's a stat. Cam's last 13 home games in Carolina, 0-13. 0-13. His last 13 starts in Carolina.
Yeah. I don't know where you got that from, but there might be another job opening there in Carolina because I think Matt Rule might be in trouble.
And what was the other stat I saw that was pretty impressive? That at the end of October, the Kansas City Chiefs had a 6% chance of making the playoffs. Now they have a 100% chance of winning the division.
I don't know if that was. I don't think it was 6%. It wasn't. Maybe of winning the division. Maybe not winning the playoffs because they were only 3-4. It wasn't like the thing was over.
All right, maybe it was
Billy
winning the division.
And Wink Martindale maybe should keep his mouth shut next time. He went and said, "Don't put a gold jacket on."
Yeah.
On Joe Burrows, and then he got lit up.
Dude, he gave up 1,000 yards to one quarterback.
Yeah, maybe Wink Martindale should, and I understand they got a lot of injuries, but fix your defense, dude. He just kept. They did it both games, just threw all over him. And I understand you're trying to get pressure on the quarterback, but when he's killing you with it, I mean, Coach, the one touchdown, honestly, me and you could have took to the house. Tyler Boyd was just, it would have been if you remember when Michael Carter scored for the Niners the one time, the big fat guy, that would have been me huffing and puffing down, getting to that end zone.
Yeah, I am mad. I'm mad that, the other 3 teams in the division have made steps forward. Right. And the Giants have made steps backwards now, and we're still where we are. It's a little frustrating now that we'll see what the Giants do. I might be interviewing 31 other teams for my fandom, depending on what the Giants do this offseason. I mean that's where I'm at, and that's where I am at.
That's not good. That's
not fit. I've been there, the ups and downs, but too many more downs. It's just not,
Well, you know what the problem's been, Coach, is just, if you look now, since Kaufman's left, especially, it's been all down pretty much. They had that 1 year with Odell.
It was a fake year. Fake year. They went 11-5. They got down. It was since the boat trip. I think the Giants, the famous boat trip for the playoffs. Is the Giants are like 21-58 or something stupid like that.
Hey, Billy, let me say, honestly, the future is bright in Cincinnati.
Yep.
So, first team in history with a quarterback who threw 4,000 yards, 2 receivers who caught for 1,000 yards, and a 1,000-yard running back, all under the age of 25. So the Bengals, and look, that's with a okay offensive line. They made the right pick. I thought they should have went with Sewell.
Yeah.
Oregon and get that lineman to protect your QB. But, man, if the Bengals can upgrade that offensive line a little bit where you're dominating the offensive line in the run game. And, look, their defense has definitely made strides. Love the pickup of Henderson from the Saints. He was kind of like a role guy for the Saints, getting major playing time for the Bengals. Just a stud. Bengals they're close. They're very close. They're an offensive line and maybe a defensive playmaker away from being a Super Bowl contender.
I would agree with that 100%. And by the way, Billy Colick, the ranch water, not my friend. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
a little upset with that
And
too.
I got to answer Paul. Paul, honestly, man, if you really believe that, buddy, you I don't know what
Yeah,
game you watched. The Raiders won yesterday in spite of Derek Carr.
I agree
In
with that.
spite of Derek Carr. That offensive line stepped up. Jacobs, I know he had the fumble, but Carr kind of just chucked it to him, and it was behind the line of scrimmage. Carr was bad yesterday. I mean, that pick six before the end of the first half, and I do blame the offensive coordinator as well, but that was inexcusable to make that play and give them a touchdown. I mean, that was inexcusable. But no, the rest of the Raiders defense played hard, looked great. Offensive line and the running game, 180 yards rushing, they did well, especially with no Waller. Obviously, Brian Edwards on the COVID list. But the one credit I'll give Carr, that was a dime he threw to Renfro in that first touchdown. That was a dime. But other than that, they won in spite of him the last 2 weeks. I would not, if I'm a Raiders fan, and I wouldn't let the last 2 weeks and what's going on change the coach still needs to go. And if you can find somebody who can replace Carr, you do it. Now, look, obviously, if you're not going to have somebody replace him, you don't move him. But right. I'm not giving him a contract. I'm not marrying myself to Derek Carr for multiple years. I can tell you that. What's up, Jay? And yes, the Giants do suck. And that's why coach is pissed off.
That's right. That's right. I'm tired of
it.
Yeah,
you had that before the game started, brother. Great call. And that's why I bet it too. Great call on that one.
And Anthony, the Giants need to fix the offensive line and defensive line. I mean, you have 2 picks right there. You get your offensive lineman and defensive lineman there. I know a lot of people are saying about the kid from Oregon and Michigan. Those guys aren't going to be there, so you're going to have to look at the 3 or 4 guy that's there. Probably the kid from Purdue.
Yeah, Coach. Before the year. Remember I said, give him my credit. I said the Eagles and the Saints were going to be better than everybody thought.
Yes,
I said
you did. You said that.
Yeah, I said they had a shot at the playoffs. I didn't say I thought but they had pieces. That offensive line was there. And that's my question about your Giants, Coach. Where are you saying, well, we got this or we got that?
Right, we don't. We don't.
I mean, where's your – you don't really feel like you can start somewhere. Like – I mean, yeah.
Anthony, I'm not keeping Jones as my quarterback. I'm sending him out, and I'm going to get a Mitch Trubisky, Garoppolo type of placeholder until I can fix that offensive line.
Right.
Plain and simple. And you have a busted running back when, and I think that's what bothers me the most when you had the number 2 pick in a quarterback-heavy draft, and you weren't going to draft a quarterback. You could have traded that pick and got a truckload, and you would have had multiple first-round picks probably for 3 years to come, and been able to fix your roster relatively quickly.
And Joe, look, the Cowboys looked really, really good last night. The defense is
against a practice squad.
Yeah, and a team falling apart. You had teammates punching each other on the sideline. And Joe, the only thing, and Joe, I know Joe knows this. The only thing I wouldn't like is you got Dak lighting it up before you go in. You don't want that, and then McCarthy goes into the playoffs thinking, let's throw the ball 35, 40 times with Dak. That Dallas has run the ball, play action. I think it was good they got Cooper going. Cooper asked for the ball, they throw it to him. He played well, but
that's where they need to go, Joe. That's exactly where they need to go, man.
They'd probably be a 500 team in the XFL away.
Right now. Yeah.
Cowboys are legit, Anthony. Look, that's a legit defense. They're fast. I mean, Lawrence is back now. The Cowboys are legit. You can't deny. They might not have had the hardest schedule, but look, man, when the Cowboys played the Bucs in the opening game of the season, they played with them. The Cowboys can play with anybody in the league. Do I think they're going to win the Super Bowl? I don't. But, look, if Green Bay loses, Dallas has the tiebreaker. Yeah. So, and look, man, defense and running the ball is what goes in January. And Dallas can do both. Their problem is they get away from the run early and, Dak making mistakes. If Dak doesn't make mistakes, they run the ball and play defense. Dallas is going to be a very tough out this year.
And I think it really depends this week what happens, I think if Dallas wins and Green Bay wins, and they know they're not got an opportunity for the first number one seed, I think it helps the Eagles out because I think they rest some guys.
Yeah. And Joe's right. Look, the Eagles' best win's probably the Saints. I mean, the Eagles have,
the Giants beat the Saints.
No, but I'm saying that's the best team they probably beat. They did beat the Broncos too, but they're under 500. Their best win's probably the Saints. The Eagles haven't. Look, they've beaten the Jets, they've beaten the Giants, they've beaten the Washington football team, they beat the Broncos. Yeah, we're not talking about they beat the Falcons, they beat the Panthers. Now they did beat the Panthers when they were 3-1 and playing well, but still, the Eagles haven't beaten. And if you look, when they play good teams, they've lost this year. But look, the Eagles are a better team. They're going to be a tough team. They're going to be a tough out. Eagles will be in close games because they can run the football and play some defense. But I don't think they're on Dallas's level, though. I would agree with that. Washington, it's one game, and that was weeks ago.
Yeah, totally different now.
And look, it's any given Sunday, Anthony. We were seeing that every week now. The Chargers obviously lose to the Texans yesterday. The Cardinals lost to the Lions last week. The Bucs lost to the Saints last week. I mean, every week it's happening. Yeah, and I agree. Parsons is ahead of Diggs, but Diggs, man, those 11 picks,
that's big.
That's a lot of. I mean, come on, it's basically almost an interception a game.
Who do the Eagles play this week?
They play Washington. It's possible. He might be right. It could happen. I mean, it's just all the turmoil in Washington. That's what I question. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
Guys punch. And they were college teammates too, Coach.
Really?
Yeah, on Alabama. Jonathan Allen and Payne. Yeah, Deron Payne. They were teammates at Alabama. And, yeah, the one guy tapped the other guy on the side of the head, and he gave up and gave him a good right. So, but, look, one thing, too, and you need to look at. I'll tell you, too, everybody going nuts. And, look, the Chiefs look unbelievable. They really do. But go look at the offenses the Chiefs have played since on this winning streak. There's one good offense they played, and it was the Chargers, and the Chargers got over 400 yards of offense on them. So wait and let's see they get into the playoffs and they play a Buffalo or an Indy or a high-powered offense, because the Chiefs haven't really played it. Because not forget, too, when they played Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers was out. So it was Jordan Love. Right. They've had some things fall their way. But, man, it's going to be interesting. And, look, watch out for Buffalo now, Coach. They're starting to – they had the game against the Bucs that, in my opinion, was robbed from them. They should have beat the Bucs. The refs stole it from them. Now, you get that win. Coach, dropping 32 on Belichick in Foxborough, the way that team's been playing, is impressive. And he had some impressive plays yesterday. Watch out for the Bills. And they ran the ball a little bit, Coach, which, we've all talked about all year. If the Bills can get any semblance of a rushing game, they're going to be tough.
Yeah, and the problem with the defense, they couldn't pressure Allen at all yesterday, and they needed to. I mean, like you said, they only had to worry about Diggs basically, but they just couldn't get pressure, and poor officiating again gets in the way of a good football game.
Yeah,
as we always have to get tired of how we have to bring up the officiating in these games every week.
And it's been terrible. It's affected the playoff standings, no doubt, 100%. It's a joke. It's just been terrible. And, Anthony, I think the Bengals are a year or two away. I think this team's satisfied. Look, they got to play the Chiefs this week. So they haven't clinched anything yet. They got a tough game this week against the Chiefs. And then you could go play a Browns team that, looking to, serve you a shit burger and kind of ruin your season. So Bengals still need to look at what's in front of them. And I think if they get the AFC North, I think that's going to be, how it is, Coach. That's a huge step from them.
Yep, it's a stepping stone. Now you build on it, yes.
Yeah, this is a team that only had 2 or 3 wins last year. The year before that, Burrow was the number 1 pick. This is a big deal in Cincinnati, and good for them.
Absolutely. those stepping stones. I remember first year Parcells, it was 3-12-1. The next year, 9-7, 9-6. Went into wild card. The following year, you were division and finally, you stepped into the Super Bowl. So
Yeah.
it was.
Yeah, Brian. Look, Rams, if they run the ball and get Akers and Michelle going, I just worry about Stafford. That's one thing I agree with Joe. Stafford playing 3 straight games unless they get the bye, which I don't think is going to happen.
Right.
Playing 3 straight games against very good football teams and getting to the Super Bowl, I just don't know if I see it. But look, Rams got to if the defense balls out, Rams got a chance. You never know. The over under would be 96. Yeah. No, what if it was Packers Chiefs? What would that over under be? That would be even crazier to me because the Rams got a pretty good defense, and the Packers, the defense has really struggled stopping the run the last few weeks. Although I think they've gotten leads and made the mistake of taking the foot off the gas, and it's kind of burned them the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
My Super Bowl, man, it's tough. God, I want to say the Colts or the Bills so bad. Man, it's tough, man. I mean, I don't know. I just got a feeling the Chiefs aren't going to get back to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Bills or the Colts, and the NFC, man, I'll go with the Packers. I mean, but they let me down last year, and I don't like how they're going in this year either. Yeah, look, I agree with you, Joe. I agree with you. I would go with your Cowboys before the Rams and the Packers. Yeah, but I think it's going to be the Packers. 58.5. Yeah, that's possible. Billy says Bills. Yeah, Joe, I don't know though. I don't think Mac Jones, look, to talk about that situation, I know he didn't have a great game yesterday, but I blame it more on the weapons outside. I think that's why Brady left. He left because Bill was stocking up the defense and leaving the cupboards dry on the offensive side of the ball. And he
right, and they went with the tight ends again, and Hunter Henry was a non-factor yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, they need wide receivers. And if you look, remember the year they beat the Rams? That was more of run the ball and play defense.
Right.
They got away from, Edelman retired. He doesn't have any go-to guys. And even back then, they didn't have maybe a stud receiver, but you had Edelman, Amendola, James White out of the backfield, Gronk. He had weapons. I don't see it. I don't see consistent guys. N'Keal Harry's not consistent. Right. Aguilar is not consistent. Kendrick Bourne, you got to get him some playmakers on the outside. Fine with the line, fine with the running game. But, that's the thing. If New England can't run the football, they're going to struggle. And you've seen it the last 2 weeks. They've gotten behind. Mac struggled a little bit and hasn't been able to bring them back. But, I think they do need to get them some playmakers on the outside.
I agree.
Billy got Bills versus Packers or Bills versus Bucks.
I just don't think Tom's going to get back there. I
think too many injuries.
Yeah.
Sammy's got Cowboys and Colts. Okay, it's possible, Sam. You never know. Yeah, I get you, Joe. But here's the thing, Joe. New England, especially if Bills hold on to that division, man, Mac Jones going on 3 road games as a rookie on the road, it's tough, man. That's really tough.
When Buffalo went on their winning streak, you got to remember, Mac Jones was playing from a lead. Right. Real easy to play from a lead, be comfortable. But you saw yesterday, that was the game down here yesterday. So I watched most of that game. And, the Bills made him uncomfortable. He was behind early. He was behind the whole game. And he was uncomfortable. They made him uncomfortable. And it was and you watch that. It's tough for a rookie. But I still think they win one playoff game. I think they win a playoff game, though.
Yeah. No, yeah, I agree with that. And look, Joe, I can't disagree with Carson struggles in big games. But he did throw a dime in that Cardinals game. But, yeah, everybody knows if the Colts don't run the ball, Carson Wentz isn't taking them on his shoulders and winning the Super Bowl. It's going to be Jonathan Taylor running the ball, and they're going to need Carson to make plays in the fourth quarter. You're not going to go through – and that was the problem with Jimmy G. I said it with the Niners, Coach. I said with the Chiefs, it was going to come down to the fourth quarter and Jimmy G not making a play. And that's what it came. Same thing with Baker. he can't make plays in the fourth quarter. If they're in a close game and you need your quarterback to make a play, he can't do it. And that's going to be Carson's question as well.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that, man.
Yeah, for the first half. Don't get Coach going, Billy.
Yeah, Billy.
But yeah, to Coach, that was a great first half, He's happy with his quarterback throwing for 20 yards.
Yeah, and our all-world running back, 12 carries for 26 yards. Yeah, because, he's not a bust. Not a bust. He's a damn bust. God Christ.
Didn't they pick up the fifth-year option on him?
Yes, he's a bust.
Yeah, right. I know.
Now he becomes one of the top 5 paid running backs in the league.
Joe, that is one of the big it's got to be BS to me. Why would you bring and Daniel Jones? They're bringing both of them back. That's a definition of insanity.
But Daniel Jones still on his rookie deal, so you don't have to franchise. You don't have the 5th-year option yet because he's only this is year 3. So why wouldn't you keep him? And who cares? It doesn't cost you anything. But Joe Judge, I don't know why he's there. But again, you're still paying. Right now. You're paying 3 head coaches. You're paying McApoop. You're still paying him. You're paying the other guy, in Denver, Pat Shurmur, and you're paying Joe Judge because now what are you going to do? Pay 4 coaches?
Yeah.
So I don't know how many years Judge had on his deal.
One thing that's interesting to me, the last couple of years, I think you've gone in and look, it hasn't played out like it's had.
Whoa, time out. Hold on.
I don't think you've had 2 more open years on who the Super Bowl teams are going to be. 2 years ago, everybody swore it was going to be the Ravens making it, although Nevada Nick had the Chiefs way before. I told everybody Chiefs were going to win it. I love tooting my own horn on that. But this year, man, in both conferences, I really could legitimately see a couple teams. I mean, NFC, I could see Packers, I could see Cowboys, I could see Bucks, and AFC, I could see Colts, Bills, Patriots. I could see, and obviously the Chiefs. The Chiefs, and look, the Chiefs are the 2-time defending AFC champions, so they're the favorite. You got to give it to them.
And Joe, just to. Oh, sorry. You put it up. I'm putting it up. Listen, Joe. No, Russell Wilson, his biggest complaint in Seattle was offensive line. What's the biggest problem in New York? Offensive line. He's going to trade one bad team for another, and the Giants are going to give up stuff. Forget it.
He put him on the list, though. He put the Giants on the list.
Right. He put him on the list because his wife wants to be in New York. That's why. He would have put the Jets on there, too, but they drafted a quarterback.
Billy, I hate the Cowboys. I do. But I call it how I see it. The Cowboys are good. The Cowboys kicked our ass earlier in the year, and I do think it'll be a closer game now because the Eagles, how the Eagles are playing. But man, we got a long way to go to catch up to the Cowboys.
And Billy, what are you looking at with that? Yeah. Wait a second. What are you looking at here? Secondary is probably the only bright spot the Giants have. They have no defensive line to put any pressure on anybody. Right. Deion Sanders can't play in that secondary. Come on, man.
Good boy, Joe. He is whipped. Russell Wilson is whipped. Sierra's calling the shots.
Yes, that's right. Sierra's calling the shots. You're right.
Joe, you know what, though, too? Look, I know he's been hurt this year, but he was bad the second half of last year, too. I'm starting to wonder, they're going to want 2 or 3 first-round picks. Russell Wilson's going to be 34. I don't know if I'm giving that much up,
especially for as many holes the Giants have. Why would you give up?
No, but I'm talking about wherever who's going to try to get him. I mean, I get it's Russell Wilson.
Yeah, but
he's not looked great the last year and.
But he's got to be on the list in Cleveland. They are a quarterback away from a Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I still believe that. Wherever, I'm sure Mike Johnson's jumping up and down hearing me say that, but they are a legitimate quarterback away. I mean, if they're not trying to actively get Aaron Rodgers, Russell Wilson, then, they're not actively trying to get a Super Bowl.
Yeah, well, and that's going to be the interesting thing is what happens with Rodgers. Did this year fix things? The one thing I'm telling you too, Coach, it's going to be big. is Devontae Adams. If they let Adams go, I think Rodgers gets out of there because he knows he loses Adams. That's a huge shot to that team. Don't get me wrong. I know it's Aaron Rodgers, but that's what he's got. After him, you got MVS, you got Lazard, but man, Devontae Adams is a special player. And if the Packers don't bring him back, I think Rodgers definitely leaves. So that's going to be a big question. Is if they bring back Adams, place your entire second, but you need another talent. Yeah, they need a lot. The Giants need a fucking whole new team, basically. That's why I said.
No, you got good talent at corner and safety, man.
Yeah,
you have some talent there. They're young. You're telling me
McKinney? About the Eagles?
No, the Giants.
The Giants need a lot, and that's the problem.
Right.
They need a lot. I said to him, "What's the one where you say, hey, we can build around this?"
There is nothing.
Don't really have it. There's not.
They don't.
Player,
but I mean, if you had to stick it, just secondary, you got two good corners. You have two good safeties. Young. I know Jabril is hurt this year, but McKinney's really stepped up and played really well. So you've got a good foundation in the back four.
Hey.
You just need to get that front seven fixed big time.
Hey, Billy Cummings. One thing I think would be even crazier: Rodgers to Vegas. Could you imagine Mahomes, Herbert, and Rodgers in the same division? That would be crazy. That would be crazy. That would be very interesting. And look, Vegas, that defense is good. They just, Vegas did it to themselves. When they dismantled that offensive line, they kind of
Billy, we'll send you Barkley. Go ahead. Let me see him be a top 3 back on another team. I please do it.
Yeah, and Billy, that's kind of tough. When you got a top, and Billy, with the Bills, he wouldn't be. Bills don't got a great offensive line. Yeah, I agree. If Saquon was on the Colts or the Cowboys where you got a top 5 running back, but it's almost interchangeable. When you got a top 5 offensive line, you can put anybody back there. Look at the Niners. Oh, this guy's great. Jeff Wilson, Mostert, this guy, that guy, because they got a great offensive line. And you can block. You can put me and Coach back there in the backfield. We'll be like Charlie Garner and Ricky Waters. We'll be thunder. I'll be lightning. You know what I mean? Because I got the quick feet. You know what I'm saying? I got the speed. Coach, you never seen me run that. After that
forever 40.
Yards,
yeah.
I got. Come on, I got some speed you don't know. Trust me.
Yeah, I have a broken leg. I still think I can beat you.
No way. I got sneaky speed. Trust me.
Why do all fucking big guys say I got sneaky speed? They all in their mind. In their mind. I'm telling you, man. It's all in your mind. Man.
Yeah, I'm not running. You're probably right. That has to be a pretty big fucking hole to get me through. I'll tell you what line could have put it, probably did it, was the Cowboys line in the fucking 90s with Stefanski and Nate Newton and those boys. I mean, the best offensive line in football. I mean, probably football history. That's why Emmett was – that's why the one thing I always love. Could you imagine –
See? Exactly, Joe. That's what I'm saying.
Could you imagine –
Always.
Yeah, I can throw the ball. I can throw the ball. You set it up. I can
listen, Joe. He's right. He's going to run the Wildcat. That's what he's trying to do. Just run the Wildcat.
I'll do whatever I got to do. I'm a team player. You need me to kick field goals? I'll do that too. Tell him, Stiz. I'll kick field goals. I'll do whatever you need to do. But no, the one thing I wanted to say: could you imagine Barry Sanders if he'd have somehow got drafted by Dallas or ended up in Dallas behind that line? I mean, he'd have run for 2,500 yards.
Easy.
I'm not even kidding. I really think it would have been possible.
And it's hard to believe that him and the guy from Buffalo were on the same team. Why can't I think? Thurman Thomas. They played in college together. I can't believe they shared carries. They had enough footballs to go around for those two.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, Anthony. Anything can happen. Jerome Bettis. That's right. And don't forget about the hefty lefty from Kentucky, Jared. Don't forget about the hefty lefty. I'm not lefty, but I'm hefty. You know what I mean?
There you go. Nevada Nick is Lamar Jackson of Delco.
That's right, man. Joe, I never threw a football into a car window. I got no clue what you're talking about. Joe saw the athleticism, though. I used to throw the ball to my neighbor a little bit. I got an arm on me. I really do. Yeah, I know, Joe. You are right. Jared Lorenzen did die. Yeah, no,
Yes, he did. He
did
passed,
die.
man. Yes.
Yeah, he did die. 300-pound Taysom Hill. I'll take it.
Yeah. Look, you got to go a little further north, Billy. Get close. Get up there a little bit
I think I
closer.
can throw the ball better than Taysom Hill, to be honest with you. I think I can throw the ball better than Lamar Jackson, too. I'm not even kidding.
Man.
And that's one thing, because I know Joe's with me. Joe agrees with me. And I know, I can't remember what Stiz said, but man, if I'm the Ravens, I'm really rethinking giving Lamar. I'm not paying him $40 million a year. I'm not, man. They're never, you'll win games. You'll win 10, 11 games every year, but you're never getting to the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl because you're always going to have a ceiling with Lamar. You're always going to have a ceiling with Lamar. And I hate that he just can't throw the football. And now all they're doing is zero blitzing and make him throw.
Well, Joe, you got to change it up a little bit, man. You got to change it up a little bit. You got to keep people coming back.
So we are all over the fucking board though today. But no, I mean, look, Coach. We talked about the Bills and the big win for them yesterday.
Yep.
The NFC, look, big game for the Packers. If the Packers win, I believe Sunday and beat the Vikings. Now, look, it's a home game, revenge game too. They did lose in Minnesota. Obviously, they play the Lions to end it. I think the Packers will sew up that one seed. And I don't think there's a team the one seed's more important to than the Packers because you got Rodgers' toe, and they look a little tired on defense. Yeah. I think they could use that 1 week break. So I think it's important for the Packers. But if the Packers do lose and Joe's Cowboys do win, Cowboys I think they're 9-1 in the conference. So Cowboys would be the number one seed if the Packers lose,
right?
By conference record, because you have that bunch of teams that are kind of tied there with the Bucks, the Rams, and who is it? The Bucks and the Rams, I guess. Yeah,
Bucks, Rams, Cowboys.
Bucks, Rams, Cowboys, right?
Anthony, I wouldn't pay either one of those guys. Either one.
No, I think the Browns have made their mind up, Anthony. Baker's not getting paid. No way. He's gone. 100%, no doubt. You just can't. I mean, he was terrible. He's not even he's hurting his team. He's not elevating the team. He's actually hurting the Browns. Right.
And look, as the Giants are desperate for a quarterback, he's not one of them I would want on the Giants.
No, yeah, and they do both suck. And Joe's right. But the thing is, too, part of that was on Stefanski. They were on the other side of the 50. They were averaging 9 yards a carry against the Packers. You had all three of your timeouts. Why are you throwing the football 3 times with Baker? Turn it and hand it off. See what happens. I understand, but look, you just needed a field goal. They were only down 2 points. You just needed a field goal. Why he threw, that was on Stefanski too. So I thought they should have run the ball, which made no sense. And then, like I said, Baker just can't make plays late. He's done. He's too short, and he's just, I don't know. He's just Baker's, he's never really done it for me. So Coy Detmer. All right. Now you're getting crazy. Ty and Coy. Yeah, I mean. Well, the thing I loved about Coy, I don't know if you remember the time he pulled it out and gave it the old, you remember that, Coach? Against the Packers? But then Favre went and did it to him. So, you know what I'm talking about? Where he did the thing where he pulled his out and gave it the slap. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when he scored a touchdown. Joe, I mean, look,
I don't think so.
Look,
you had a bunch of guys out on COVID.
Yeah. Joe, the one thing I don't like about them, I don't think they got the right coach. I mean, Staley's not as good without that Rams defense, and the decisions he makes. He's constantly going for too early. He's going for 4th down and goal too much. One time he did it from the 5-yard line. I mean, he blew that Chiefs game 100%. That was on Staley. I thought, Joe, he blew the Cowboys game against your team. The Chargers have talent. And they have pieces on defense. I'm just not a fan of Staley. I think Herbert's going to be good. No, you are right, though. They have been up and down all year.
And Anthony, Lamar, I'm going to send Lamar out and test the market.
Yeah,
I'd
no,
send him out and then match it and
I
possibly
would,
match it.
I would offer Lamar like 20 or 25 million. If there's nobody else out there, so it's a team friendly deal. I'm not giving him 40 million where he's eating up the cap. He's not worth that, because if you're going to have Lamar, you're going to need a top 5 defense. So because you can run the ball and play defense, but you can't pay him that money and then lose depth around your team. Because you're going to need a great defense, because it's going to be running the football and defense. So you're going to need a top 3 defense. You're going to need to really play good defense, because he can't throw the ball. He can't throw the football. And Joe makes a good point. Sorry, Coach. I'll go back to that.
That's all right.
But Joe makes a good point. Huntley, if Lamar played that game, the Packers would have smoked him. No doubt, 100%. And the last 2 guys, Josh Johnson and Huntley, have come in and thrown the ball better than Lamar. Just flat out. It's the truth. And all of a sudden, these weapons, who everybody say stunk, have looked better with these guys at quarterback.
Billy, the Billy Colic, the Ravens run the NFL equivalent of the wing T. That's Lamar's problem.
Yeah. Billy, it's more than a tad. He really has to learn how to throw the ball, and he can't read defenses. He misses open guys. It's a big. He needs to fix the way he throws the ball. And look, and not just that. What I said was going to happen is going to happen, and it happened this year. He's going to get hurt.
That's a good one, Billy.
Billy, you're right. He is the big loss lot. He is. But like I said, too, if Lamar keeps playing like he is, let's not forget, against the Bills last year, he got hurt in the playoffs. And now, down the stretch, when the Ravens need him the most, he's missed the last 2 games. And my guess is he'll probably miss the 3rd game, because it's a high ankle sprain. Because if it's the ankle and he's missed the last 2 games, it's a high ankle sprain. And it's somebody like him, where athleticism and using your legs is important, what are you going to do?
I agree.
So, and let's not forget, I said before he got hurt, the Ravens weren't going to make the playoffs. I think they've gotten lucky, but they're just a well-coached team. John Harbaugh, the most underrated coach in football.
I agree with that, 100%.
So I guess Billy Cummings and Billy Colic know each other?
I don't know if they know each other. I know them both.
Oh, okay.
Billy Cummings, our producer back at our ESPN days. And,
okay. Sorry, Billy. Sorry, Billy, to produce this guy. Who won't know? Had me on the phone. It was him talking to himself. I was on mute the whole time.
Oh, man. So.
They are lovers. That's great. But I'm curious, everybody. I know we did something before. Everybody throw me your Super Bowl. Who you got in the Super Bowl right now in the comments. I'm curious. Joe, I want to see who you got. Because, I think it's tough this year, man. It really is. I think it's one of the toughest years to pick. And don't say you're Cowboys just because you're being a fan. Be honest. If you really think the Cowboys can do it, let me know. But I'm curious if everybody thinks who the Super Bowl is going to be. Yeah, he is a little prickly.
Yeah, I am a little prickly. I'm a lot prickly. I'm a lot prickly there.
And he's got a little prick, too. A little prickly. He's prickly because he's not qualified to be a head coach. That's
right. I'm not qualified to coach football. That's why I'm prickly.
Wow, Joe, you're going to the rematch of '96 with Favre versus Bledsoe. Okay. Wow. Right after Parcells left.
Tampa, another rematch. Anthony. Wow, I don't know. I don't see that.
Yeah, I just think Tampa's got too many injuries to overcome, and the Chiefs. I like how they look. Sammy, I think that would be a great game. Cowboys.
That would be
another Super Bowl rematch. That'd be a good one too. Like I said, Packers in New England. Yeah, that would be a rematch from when the Bills they played back-to-back Super Bowls against each other.
Yeah, in the 90s.
Bills fans. That would be cool if the Bills made it and then won. Talk about a fan base that deserves a Super Bowl. Billy's gonna wash my mess up with soap. Cheerleaders. Yeah, I don't know, Billy. They're a good team, man. I can't look. If you watch Billy, did you watch them last night? They are fast on defense. And look, I still want to see more out of Dak, but they're.
I agree, Joe. I agree, Joe.
I agree,
He
Joe.
wants to leave. He wants to leave and go. Yeah, try and repeat without me.
Right.
That's what
Yeah,
that's what he's.
I agree. But Joe, I'm Billy. I know it's Washington, but Joe, they were. I mean, Bill, they were so fast. I mean, Heineke had no clue what to do. I mean, and look, their defense is really good. And to what Joe said, Joe, I agree 100%. Only thing that worries me is the defense has kind of been lax, but they're going to get some. I think they need that bye week, and yeah, I think they put it together, and they need to get Bakhtiari in too on the offensive line.
You're right. Might be an underdog year. You're right.
Yeah.
Now let me ask you, Nick. You got any action on this game tonight?
Yeah. I mean, look, I think you got it. Look, the Dolphins 1-7. They're 7-7 now. They won 6 straight. If you're gonna bet, you got to go with Miami because look now, could Book come in and do some things as a rookie QB? Yeah, the Saints have a good roster. They really do. I mean, look what they did to Tampa last week. With some injuries and missing their head coach, they shut out Tom Brady. That's a good team. I see a low-scoring game. I like the under, but I think Miami finds a way to pull it out.
Okay.
I think more weapons on offense, and I trust Tua more than I trust Ian Book. So I'm going to go with Miami.
All right, good stuff. Listen, everyone, we got one more show before the year wraps up. So we'll be back. I'll be back Thursday. Maybe Nevada Nick, maybe not. We don't know.
Yeah.
So jump in our last show of the year before, and then we'll be back January 2nd for to ring in the new year. And we'll go with that week 18 or 17, rocking in already here. So listen, everyone, thanks for hanging out. We love all the comments. We love all that stuff. Keep it coming. Share it with your friends. Like the page. Ring the bell if you're on YouTube. Subscribe. We appreciate everything. Enjoy some football. We'll talk Thursday. We'll be kind of Giants heavy on Thursday. I can almost guarantee it. Yeah. Go ahead, Nevada.
Real quick. Now, Billy, Washington before the last 2 weeks was playing well. They got hit hard by COVID, and I think now too they've hung it up. They know the season's over. But before that, they were on a 3-game win streak. I mean, let's not forget they were pushing for the NFC East, and then now they've lost 3 straight. They were 6-5, looking pretty damn good. Yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of run too. You're right, Joe. But I don't know. Flores is a Belichick guy. He's going to try to take what they do well off, and I think he's going to try to stop Kamara. He's going to say Ian Book beat me. So that's why I like the Finns tonight.
All right. Very good. All right, everyone. Enjoy some football, and we'll see you guys Thursday night. Be safe, and we'll see you again. Thanks.